Alright, guys, let's dive into a topic that many of us have probably pondered about, but haven't really delved into deeply: the world of women and intimacy. You see, there's this widespread belief among us men that every woman out there is constantly swimming in a sea of intimacy, right? But guess what? Reality check. That's not always the case. There are women out there who, for various reasons, haven't had a taste of intimacy in ages. And no, it's not because they're not desirable or anything like that. Life just throws curveballs sometimes, you know? Take, for instance, a woman who's a mom. Her priorities shift and suddenly her intimate life takes a back seat. Or what about those women who are super selective about their partners? They're not just going to jump into bed with anyone who comes their way. Oh, and let's not forget about the ladies who value their purity and hold it sacred. For them, giving themselves to a man is like giving away a piece of their soul. So in today's video, we're flipping the script and focusing on the ladies. I'm going to break down 4 telltale signs that a woman is craving intimacy like never before. Let's unpack the first sign: low self-esteem in women and how it relates to their intimacy levels. Now, picture this scenario. You come across a woman who seems to lack that inner confidence, right? Well, it could be a sign that she's been flying solo in the intimacy department for quite some time. You see, for women, intimacy isn't just about physical pleasure. It's also about feeling wanted and desired. So when they go through long, dry spells, it can really take a toll on their self-esteem. They start questioning their worth and wondering if anyone even cares about them. But here's the thing. Deep down, they know they're worth more than just a quick fling. They've got standards, and they're not about to settle for just anyone. That's why, if you're looking to get close to a woman who's been out of the intimacy game for a while, you've got to earn her trust. Show her that you're not just in it for the physical stuff, but that you genuinely care about her as a person. And let me be crystal clear here. I'm not advocating for playing mind games or using anyone just to satisfy your own desires. That's not what we're about here. If that's your intention, then do us all a favor and hit the exit button. We're all about respect and genuine connections, got it? Let's keep it real, fellas. Let's dive into the second telltale sign that a lady's been missing out on some serious intimacy action: aggression, nervousness, and tension. Picture this scenario. You come across a woman who's on edge, ready to snap at the slightest provocation. Now, before you write her off as just another drama queen, hold your horses. There might be more to her behavior than meets the eye. You see, when a woman's been deprived of that intimate connection for too long, it can manifest in all sorts of ways. Some women might bottle up their frustrations, appearing calm but feeling insecure deep down. Others, well, they wear their emotions on their sleeves, lashing out at anyone who dares to cross their path. And here's the kicker. It's not always easy to tell if a woman's been lacking intimacy or not. Yep, you heard me right. Just like us guys, they've got ways to relieve that tension, if you catch my drift. Now, I know what you're thinking. How the heck do you figure out if a woman's been indulging in a little self-love session? Well, if you're curious to find out, drop a plus sign in the comments and maybe, just maybe, I'll whip up a video on this topic. Hey, don't knock it till you've watched it, right? It could be an eye-opener for us all. Alright, let's delve into the third sign that a lady's been craving some serious intimacy. She's all about sex talk. Now, you might have come across a woman who seems to have a one-track mind, steering every conversation towards the bedroom. And hey, don't write her off as just another flirtatious chatterbox. There could be more to her words than meets the ear. You see, when a woman's been longing for that intimate connection, it tends to occupy her thoughts a lot. So it's no surprise that she's constantly dropping innuendos, cracking risque jokes, and nudging the conversation in a steamy direction. But here's the kicker. Most guys miss the memo because they dismiss it as harmless banter. Little do they know there's often a nugget of truth hidden in those cheeky remarks. Yep, that's right. This lady's not beating around the bush. She's laying it all out on the table, expressing her desires loud and clear. Now, before you jump to conclusions, let me set the record straight. Just because she's upfront about it doesn't necessarily mean she's been in a dry spell. Sometimes, fellas, the signs are right under our noses, pun intended. And if a woman's opening up to you about her intimate thoughts, trust me, it's not just for kicks. But here's the thing. Many guys shy away from broaching this topic and getting closer to a woman. Little do they know, bridging that gap might be easier than they think, unless, of course, she's holding out for her knight in shining armor. Now let's wrap things up with the fourth and final sign I want to shed light on. Picture this. She's making a bold statement, flaunting a more daring persona, both in her style and her conversation. You'll catch her sporting those eye-catching outfits, figure-hugging dresses, and piling on the makeup. But hold your horses, fellas, because there's more to her makeover than meets the eye. See, it's not just about grabbing every guy's attention. No, no. It's about hoping that at least one brave soul will muster the courage to get up close and personal. However, here's the rub. Women aren't usually swooning over the ones who come on too strong or shoot cheesy pickup lines. Nah, they're into the reasonable, well-groomed, good-looking, and charming types, the ones who keep things interesting. So if you waltz up to her and crudely spill out your intentions, she'll likely show you the door. But if you take the time to get to know her, whisk her away on a couple of fun-filled dates, she'll start to trust you more. She'll realize that there are no barriers between you two. And lastly, let me leave you with this thought. Women crave sex just as much as us men do. Sometimes, they're just better at keeping their desires under wraps to avoid coming off as too easy. Women operate on a whole different wavelength compared to us guys. Their mindset, their inner workings, it's all different. Even though we're both part of the same species, it often feels like we're worlds apart. Now, if a woman is practically jumping out of her skin for some action, well, you won't have any trouble getting what you want. The key is to woo her into a date, show her you're a decent bloke, make her feel safe, and voila, she's yours. But there are certain types of women you should never initiate intimacy with. First, a woman who's already taken, whether she's got a boyfriend or a husband. You might wonder, how can a woman in a relationship not be getting any action? Well, situations vary, my friend. And even if she's feeling the heat down there, don't go there. Second, if she's got kids, it's best to steer clear of any sexual involvement with her. And lastly, if she gives off any unhealthy or suspicious vibes, trust your gut and steer clear. That's all for now. Don't forget to smash that like button. Thanks for tuning in.